this in?
Who knows? Okay.
All right. Welcome back to the second episode of the WavyCast, or whatever the hell we end up calling this.
I don't really know what to name it, but WavyCast is kind of, it's Wavy Trial, and I did the Wavy food review, so then we got the WavyCast. It just kind of, it's all in the same family of videos, kind of.
We don't really have a topic today, so I think we're just going to free ball it.
Yeah, I'm feeling some type of way today.
You're like hyped up. Did you drink a bunch of coffee before?
I did actually, yeah. I had a cup during physics, and I took 3 pages worth of notes from my test review. I got a test on Thursday. Also on Thursday, I have a IAS officer interview.
A what?
An IAS, the Instrumentation Automation Society.
Okay.
I have an interview to be the ex officio, so I'm reapplying for the position I have right now that's in SGA.
Gotcha.
That's really it. I have a lot of stuff to do. I have a engineering expo coming up, which means that I had to, with a group, of course, I had to make the idea of making an invention that does not exist yet, and that is really hard. We have 2 weeks to get it done, so it's crunch time, baby, and maybe I just need a little caffeine to get me through these 2 weeks.
What do you have left to do on your project? Like,
So,
I know y'all have to build a model, don't you?
A model is due tomorrow.
Wow.
My model is gonna be, I'm gonna have a cloth sheet over 4 pressure sensors, and I'll get into what my actual invention is, but for right now, let's talk about the model. The model is going to be like a pillowcase, maybe, over 4 pressure sensors. I'm going to map out with tape like a quadrant, like a graph, and in each quadrant I'm going to have a direction. And I just need to show them that my pressure sensors work.
You might want to explain what the idea is, because with that it just sounds a little ridiculous.
Yeah, well, here's where it's leading to, right? So I'm going to have, and this is all going to be one system. It's going to be one unit. I'm going to have an alarm clock, right? You wake up in the morning, you're like, man, what's going on? And you walk across the room, and you go to turn off this alarm clock as one would.
Bam! Dance Dance Revolution.
Exactly. You look down, you have a Dance Dance Revolution mat, and a code displays on this alarm clock. And you got to hit the Dougie.
Up, down, right, left. Up, right. You got to do the steps to turn off the alarm clock. Now you're awake.
Yeah.
Dancing.
And maybe I'll have hit the quan,
Well,
playing in the background.
How do you
don't
hit the
even know.
quan whenever you only have 4?
You just use your imagination.
Okay.
I mean, it's not really all that hard, I don't think.
Gotcha.
Really. If you don't know how to hit the quan, you're finna learn. Or else that alarm is
You're
finna be.
gonna have like y'all need like a screen to where you could on Dance Dance Revolution how it has like.
Yeah, we got this thing called a LCD display, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna show us the arrows. Hopefully, that part is actually.
You need like the
fall.
you need like the people
that
are doing the same dance as you.
Oh no, that'd be impossible.
I know. I'm
No,
playing.
that would be crazy.
I'm playing.
But yeah, I might put that on the future improvements. Yeah, we have to present this to a board of execs that come down from tech's higher up. So it could be anywhere from professors to maybe the actual cabinet of LA Tech, meaning maybe the president of LA Tech will come through. I'm sure he'll make an appearance. And sometimes you even have like state people who aren't really necessarily affiliated with the teaching staff or the LA Tech staff. Maybe they're more government entities as far as education goes. Sometimes they'll come in and also view your project. But yeah, so I think as far as my project is not very like sciencey.
Yeah,
I don't think it's not like
all these other people are like they're like what's your project? I mean we're curing cancer and
yeah
and you're like we're Dance Revolution alarm clock.
But look, that's just how I do it, though. I don't know. I think you gotta think outside the box sometimes, and this is definitely original.
It's definitely outside the box.
I could come in there and be like, I'm trying to inoculate the bacteria in a dead fish, but like I'm not even trying to do. I'm just trying to get the project done and get my grade and pass. Sometimes that's all you have to do. You don't need to go the extra mile. There are times where you should, and there are times where you just need to get it done. And I think this is one of those times because this quarter has been brutal. So
That's facts. Vote Ethan Jeffers.
vote Ethan Jeffers over.
This video will probably be out after voting ends, so it's
Yeah.
probably not even purpose.
Yeah,
But this is what happens to people who don't vote for Ethan. So like, this is someone who does vote for Ethan Jeffers, and this is someone who doesn't vote for Ethan Jeffers. So it's like, nothing really happens. You just suck.
Oh god. Yeah. As far as like campus stuff, there's something kind of big happening right now on campus, and it's that they're proposing a bill to the
parking lot.
yeah.
Where's that gonna go? Is it gonna go behind Jenkins?
It's over there by Jenkins.
Yeah,
there was a map for
there's
it.
a huge parking lot that's by Jenkins, and I think they're talking about putting it there, right?
So here's what I think is kind of messed up about this bill, and why I will probably vote it no.
I already did. I voted no.
The reason why I'm gonna vote no, if voting is even still up, I can't really remember. Maybe we'll vote. I think the Senate actually votes today in the SGA meeting, if you haven't voted already. But I think that this bill did not come from SGA. I think this bill came from outside of SGA, like maybe the president's cabinet and stuff proposed this to SGA as a way to get themselves out of having to spend money to build a parking garage. I'm not really for that. I think that as a campus, they for sure make enough money to improve this I know they're already improving the campus, but the things that they're improving on are building a new tech point, which is really just more business for tech.
That, and also it helps students get internships and stuff like that.
It does, but I think a large margin of the risk, not even risk reward, but the ratio of how much it helps tech and how much it helps the student is, I'm pretty sure it's farther in tech's favor, you know.
Also, it's $20 a month for
it's
every
$20 a month for every student.
For what time period? Like,
that's it, exactly.
It doesn't say.
I don't even know.
See, that's kind of absurd. It also didn't say that on like the voting thing. It didn't say like for the next 5 years.
Yeah,
for the next
exactly. Don't even.
Pending time. But like,
there should be more information given. It honestly, I should have done my due diligence and went to the meetings where this was explained. But sometimes that doesn't happen. And I know
there's like 13,000 undergraduate students here. I mean, times $20, that's $260,000 a quarter. It doesn't even it might cost times 3 of that, like, so for a full year.
Mm-hmm. I think they explained the full cost, and it was somewhere like $800,000.
That's
something
almost
like that.
Exactly what that was.
Yeah. So
it came out for a whole year, $20 a quarter for each student. It was $760,000, which is an insane amount for just a parking garage. And I don't know.
And I know that some of y'all watching might not even like really grasp what this is doing, but basically at our campus,
parking sucks.
Exactly. We have really bad parking. And it's not that, I mean, there's really no way to sugarcoat it. It's just kind of bad.
And if anything, like, that's also a terrible place to do it, in my opinion. I think Davidson is a much better option because not only is that parking lot already developed in that it's cement, this one's fucking gravel, and it's more away from Central Campus.
Well, let me tell you what I think they're going to do.
So you're going to disrupt all this traffic that's in Central Campus. You're going to get rid of that parking space currently for all those people that live there right now. It's just going to fuck with a lot of shit.
Think about the bigger picture, though. Think about like a road map. I think the goal is to have every parking lot turn into a parking garage.
By the end of, like, 50 years.
Who knows how long, but
yeah.
I think that this is the first step towards that happening. But what I do not agree with is that instead of LA Tech using its own money that it generates, there's no way that the profit margin for LA Tech is not to a degree that they can't afford to build a parking garage. That's all I'm saying. I know that it's something that might cost a lot of money, but instead of essentially taxing the student, and I do understand that's really how taxes work. You tax the population to provide better benefits for the population. I get that. But I feel like this is something that probably should have originated within the student wants. I don't know. I feel kind of odd about it. Because what if it's not just this time? What if the next time they also need us another $20 to do the next parking garage and so forth? It's something that there's a lot of uncertainties moving forward with it, and say if we vote this one yes, but then they ask us to do 20 again for another parking garage maybe in a future roadmap, and then that one gets voted no, like what happens? I feel like they're kind of leaning on us for this money, especially if it is a roadmap structure. It's just odd. A lot to think about, especially as a freshman at a campus where you might not be super aware of like the politics of what happens and all of that. It's a lot on a plate for a student to vote, and a lot of students vote blindly.
Yeah. Well, a lot of students will look at it, and especially people that pay for their own college, is an extra $20 a quarter. Why would I want to pay that? No. And
Yeah.
so I think it's going to go no. But you really think that eventually they're working towards putting a parking garage in every parking lot that exists right now?
I think
I feel like that would be absurd in a way, because at there's a certain limit to which campus can grow.
Mhm.
There's obviously surrounding property, and unless we just buy that property and expand, but going towards IESB, there we hit a limit on downtown Ruston, and I know the city of Ruston is very adamant about keeping that preserved.
Yeah.
So I think the only way we could expand would be more towards Tanyard and stuff like that. But then now you get more into the residential area, and I don't think it's going to happen. So I don't think they're going to make a parking garage in every space, because we don't have that many people, and we don't have that capability to hit that amount.
I think what they'll do is instead, maybe saying a parking garage in every space sounds a bit crazy. I think that they'll find an efficient method for where to have a parking garage and where to leave it normal parking. Obviously, if it gets to a point where it's just not efficient and not optimal, I don't think they'll do it. I think that's just a law of commerce and just business in general whenever you set up to build things. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I just think I know where I stand on it and stuff. But
Forgot to turn off that fan.
so to recap, I've got a ton of stuff due this week. Got Expo in 2 weeks, physics test this week, SGA meeting today, Smash Bros tournament today. I've just got a lot on my plate, and I'm feeling some type of way about it. Yeah, but it's almost the end of the quarter, and I just found out that I got to go to a summer school. But it's not like summer school normally. I just need to come up here I'm going to take a cybersecurity class to...
Why did you decide to do cybersecurity? Because the job is just like... Oh, it's not like... Because I know you said that it's important to know that kind of stuff, but you can't really apply it without a vast amount of knowledge. It's not like you're going to get hired to do it.
So if you start... Imagine... Okay, so say I came during this summer and I took a cybersecurity course, the intro level course.
Yep.
And then next fall, so next year, I wanted to continue the course, just as almost like an elective every quarter. Except this cybersecurity class doesn't count. I think you have a limited number of electives you can take, right?
Yeah, every major has a different number.
Yeah.
Well, you probably as an engineering major have very few.
I think the way that they have it structured is that cybersecurity doesn't count towards that. I think that you get a certificate at the end with cybersecurity.
Oh, really?
And they're actually trying to make it its own thing right now, to where you can secondary major in cybersecurity. But I don't know how they're doing that right now. I know that the director has come and talked to our class a ton, but he said that if you go through the course, it's extremely valuable information. And although I may not use it in my field of study, cybersecurity is something that is always going to be important.
It's also ever growing.
Yeah. People are constantly finding out day to day that their cybersecurity matters. And maybe it doesn't matter to you right now, but if you become successful in life and you get to a place in life where you might get targeted, you might need to know these things. And that's something that, as someone who plans to be successful, I might want to know that information. And I actually could help others who need that information. So think about the market you're looking at then. If you're only working for people who feel like they have something that could be targeted, they're probably going to be worth something, or it's probably going to be valuable enough for them to need to protect it. And that doesn't go to say that not everybody needs to be protected, but a large business or something might really need you, and that could be just a good job, if all else fails, But that's really it. I'll do that during the summer, see if I want to continue it. I've heard that the first class is not very hard.
Hudson, my ex roommate, when he went back to LSUS, he did he did like a semester. He didn't like what he was doing. He did something cybersecurity, and now he's doing some like online college for like 2 more years. He'll have the cybersecurity certification or something like that. That's what he's gonna do.
I'm sure he's gonna get the. There's like a plus. There's like a plus certificate. I can't remember all the specifics. He went over the entire thing one day, and I actually have a meeting with him at 2:00 today at 2:30, because if you do it during the summer, they're actually offering a scholarship for it, because they're trying to. It doesn't really matter to me if they do a scholarship, because I'm fine. I don't need, my college is paid for, so a scholarship doesn't really do anything, but maybe it'll be money in my pocket. It just depends on how the scholarship actually works, because some you can get, basically if they've given you more money than your tuition costs, you can pocket it. But as far as financial aid and stuff like that, like you probably couldn't ever pocket tops, stuff like that. It's really dependent. Situation dependent.
Let's see, I was about to say something, I can't remember. Where are you living over the summer? Because obviously we only have a 9-month lease. Are you taking an online class? That would be ideal for you, is to take an online class, just not do it here and do it in Gina.
I think they offer housing during the summer.
They do.
But I don't know how you sign up for it either.
It's called, you have a 12-month lease. And we have a 9-month lease.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll have to figure it out.
Well, it would, like I said, it'd be ideal for you to take an online class and you could just do it from Gina.
Well, I don't think you can do an online class for the cybersecurity, but I do know.
Then I'd take another class.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna put yourself out of a lot of money by having to either find a place to live here or try and get a place on campus. You might lose a lot of money that way.
So I called the people that actually are supporting me through college, the government workforce, and they said that they would pay for me to come to school during summer.
Oh.
That's what I had that phone call right there the other day. I told him, I said, I think I'll be fine as far as paying for summer. He said, "Are you sure? Because we can cover that."
Oh, well, then
I was like, okay.
Word?
I was like,
Yeah,
fine. That works for me, because
but
apparently
you won't be able to live on campus because it's too late.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to see.
Yeah. Maybe you could. I bet summer housing is actually really not full. I bet you could.
No, there's probably no way it's full.
I bet you could go work it out with somebody, but you would have to make sure you work it out in the way that you don't get a 12-month lease for, pots.
Yeah.
Or I guess you can for pots, but don't get a 12-month lease somewhere else. Say
Mm-hmm.
like, I already have a 9-month lease here. Can I do 3 months in this area and then do my other 9 months with my friend in Thatcher?
I guess I'll have to set up a meeting with housing to figure out what to do.
Yeah, I'd honestly talk to Colin about it.
Yeah, I could do that too. Colin is our friend that works at housing. Oh, man.
I wanted to talk about something else and I can't remember what I wanted to talk about.
How good I am at freestyling?
No, it's definitely not that.
I'm pretty good.
Man, I can't remember. I had a really good topic and I just floated in my head. I want to switch to a new topic. What can we talk about?
A new topic. Okay.
Yeah. Because we'll be talking about like politics.
Yeah, we didn't hit a bunch of different notes this little podcast that we've got. I think we've only been going for like
15 minutes.
Exactly.
20.
It ain't even been that long, dude.
No.
Man. Well, it's a beautiful day outside.
It is.
I know. If all else fails, you can always talk about the weather. We done had this little cool spell happening from, the later half of April, and I'm really loving it. I walked outside yesterday shirtless just to let my nipples breathe, and honestly, it was like, I felt human. You know, I really did. I felt
Do you have moments where you don't feel human?
I feel all the time.
What do those moments feel like?
They feel like the moments that I don't feel human are when there's so much expected of me that I have like anxiety, and it kind of like I like dissociate a little bit, and you know, I'm just kind of on go mode. I'm just doing a task. I'm not even thinking about the fact that I'm alive sometimes.
That's where we're like, you know how they say like opposites attract and stuff like that. Like we're good friends. I'm the exact opposite. I feel pointless, and I feel like I am a wasted space whenever I'm not doing anything. Like if I'm just like laying in bed on my phone, I feel like, wow, I am just nothing right now. And so if I don't have purpose in the moment, and if I don't have purpose of like, oh, this I have this to do, 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 I feel like I'm just like floating, drifting in nothingness, and I hate it.
Well, let me tell you, there are moments where I love doing tasks. Moments where the task doesn't make me feel not human.
Other than applied calc, right?
A black cow fucking sucks. And I don't ever cuss on this podcast, but that's real. But whenever I feel stressed to do a task is when it's not as human to me. It makes me feel like I'm kind of doing something. I want to have, and I think everybody wants this. It's utopian, you know. Like I want to have as much freedom. I want to do things the way I want to do it. You know, like it's my right. I want to do it the way I want to do it. But sometimes you don't have that luxury. You know, you got to be in crunch time. And I love laying in the grass. Like that's something I really like doing. I don't know why.
I want to look something up real quick.
It makes me feel super connected with nature. It's very like.
Are you Liver King?
Bro, I know you did not just say that.
The ancestral tenets? You know about the ancestral tenets from Liver King? You don't know about that?
I never watched Liver King.
I just watched him because I thought it was funny.
Bro, whenever they exposed his ass.
Yeah, he was spending like $12,000 a month on steroids. That was crazy.
I might do that one day. I might do steroids one day for real. Like,
no, you won't. You're kidding.
Look, dude, every day it becomes more attractive. Like, just to be.
You don't even work out.
But okay. Okay, yeah. Like that don't really. It's not about that.
You got to reach your natty potential before you can hop on steroids.
But I think steroids.
Otherwise, you're cheating yourself.
Steroids let you hit the natty potential before you even.
Well, you're not natty anymore, so
crazy.
It's not natty potential. You're not reaching your natty potential.
It's like natty.
You have
plus.
no reason. This is something that really bothers me. Like people that get on steroids before they're like maxing out their frame. Like if you're 5'7" or something like that, you got to hit like 200 pounds before you can hop on steroids. 200 pounds of like solid muscle. If you're like 6'3", like you got to hit like 250 before you can hop on steroids, because you got to max out your frame before you can hop on steroids. You got to max out your natty potential first.
Man.
Also, just don't get on steroids, because like, what are you gonna do? You gonna be the next Mr. Olympia? Probably not. There's only one a year. You're probably not gonna be the next Mr. Olympia. So like, I don't know. There's just no point.
There is something I want to talk about actually. It's on my mind.
Hold on. But I'm about to contradict myself with this quote I'm about to say.
Oh my lord! Y'all should see what he's typing up right now.
Well, I'm about to say it. So it's a quote from Rick and Morty, and it's actually crazy because it's true. It's what I was talking about whenever I was talking about how I feel purpose. Like I feel like I have no purpose whenever I'm just floating around. Mm-hmm. And it says, "To live is to risk it all. Otherwise, you're just an inert chunk of randomly assembled molecules drifting wherever the universe blows you."
Yeah.
It's true.
Life is all about risks.
It's about risks, but it's also about like doing shit. Mm-hmm. If you're not doing anything, what are you doing?
That's true.
Make something of yourself.
Okay, well this actually feeds into that. I think the moments where you can do nothing and you can just relax only are valuable because of the moments where you are working.
That's why I think we have had a recent dive into meditation. The two of us, we kind of subscribe to this app called Waking Up, and it's just like it leads and teaches you how to meditate. And I feel like that when I go to bed, when I meditate right before bed, it just helps me go to sleep because I can peacefully think about, like, yes, I'm doing nothing in that moment, but I'm reflecting on all the things that I did throughout the day.
And that's really
it makes
useful.
Me feel good.
So there needs to be a balance to feel, I don't know, mentally healthy, because if you're just stressed 24/7 and all you're doing is working, you can get very bogged down into, a lot of people experience burnout. That's just something that happens.
I used to burn myself out on foods when I was little. I would eat like Uncrustables every day for lunch for like 5 years straight, and I wouldn't touch them for like a year. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know a lot of friends who have been very depressed because of burnout at work, where they feel like this is their future for the next, like,
30 years.
Well, some people don't want to be at Walmart for 30 years, but
oh, okay. Well, I'm talking about like your actual. It's more. That would be less depressing. It's more depressing if you graduate and you get into your career field. Like, say, I don't want to bum you out, but say you get into instrumentation, control system engineering, technology, and like you have a position, you're contracting yourself out or whatever, like we talked about before this, and you hate it, and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna do this for the next 30 years of my life, and I hate it. That's scary. And that would really make you depressed.
Well, speaking on one friend I know, he might watch this, but whenever he would wake up every day and he'd go to Walmart and he'd work, and it's already very weird to work in Walmart. I can imagine, like,
the people that show up.
Yeah, when you go in Walmart, maybe you're not thinking about the Walmart atmosphere, but imagine working in a place like that. I think next time you go in Walmart, if you sit down and you don't want to sit down, obviously, but if you take a second to think about what it would feel like to be in there for 8 hours every day, you might, feel a little existential or depressed. And I think it's really good to take those moments to reflect on the day, like we were just talking about meditation, and that should happen in all areas of your life. If you're working a ton, you need to have those reflective moments, or else you're going to get burnt out and you're going to stray away from what you probably need to be doing. It's just something that happens. But one thing I want to talk about is this weekend I went home to Gina, and it was prom weekend, and it was pretty good. I didn't really have the greatest time at prom whenever I was a senior. It was, I was definitely a little influenced, but it was a very weird experience. But now that I look back on it, and I'm in college and I see all these people like going to prom and all the prom pictures and everything, I realized that I probably should have valued that moment a little more, and I probably should have reflected on it. And in fact, I did reflect on it, but maybe just a year later, And it made me miss high school a little bit, and made me think that I probably could have made more out of high school. And, it kind of motivated me to make the most out of what I'm doing now, and to try and enjoy and live in the moment for, my foreseeable next couple of years. Like, it's really hard to always value what you're doing, especially because you're doing it. It's kind of hard to do that. It takes time to get away from something to then look back and collect your feelings on it. But I'm going to try and be a little bit more present with the things that I do, and think about what they mean in terms of, just respect to my life. And I think that may lead to a more meaningful experience from day to day. Maybe it'll help with motivation. We'll see. I'm gonna start trying to do it.
I don't know how to respond.
You don't even got to, bro.
Kind of lost for words.
It's bro silence. It's like, you know when people just go, damn.
Damn, that's crazy.
It's the same thing.
By the way, anytime someone hits you with a damn, that's crazy, that means they don't care.
Well, maybe just damn. Maybe that was just a damn moment.
Yeah, damn, that didn't deserve a damn, that's crazy. It's kind of like how whenever people are drunk and they start saying at the end of the day.
Bro.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Like
whenever people are drunk and they start saying at the end of the day, that's when you stop listening. Because that's when they're like just rambling for no reason. And that happens to me all the time when I'm at work and I'm like serving people and they're drunk. And I'm like, and they're like, man, at the end of the day, you just, and I walk away. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I can't listen. I can't bring myself to listen to people say that. Even though I know I do it whenever I'm drunk. Actually, I don't get drunk.
Dude, I have been, again, influenced, and I have went on entire, like, monologue, like, speech type things. Like, I have proclaimed, like, a whole lot of stuff. I don't know what happens, but sometimes I just get in this mode where I'm just, like, passionately talking about something, like, for a really long time, and I'm just going crazy, and, you know, I don't really remember it afterwards, but I know it happened. That's all that matters.
What are you talking about right now?
Exactly, you know, like drunk rambling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I've done more than ramble. I've said like Martin Luther King type speeches. Like I've spoke to my people. Like honestly,
I do that too when I'm influenced. But like I don't like post it or anything like that.
No, I didn't post it.
Okay, that's what I thought you were saying whenever you said I speak to my people. I thought you were saying you like post it.
Bro, I don't even remember the stuff I said, but I know that I did. Like I know.
See, I don't even say anything a lot of the time. I like think in my head about like an entire speech that I could give, and I'm like, that makes so much sense. And I'm like connecting it with other things and like make like an entire speech. And I know if I were to say it out loud, everybody would look at me like, what is this guy talking about? Because they're not going through the same mental process.
What's crazy is if you're good enough at speaking, they'll be like, damn, I know exactly what he's talking about. Like you can lead them. You can lead them with your thoughts.
It's hard to be good at speaking when you're under the influence because it's hard to explain your ideas.
I think it's way easier.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a certain level. You have to be. There's a
threshold for sure.
It's like once
you
reach this certain area, you're like, you're trying to explain your thoughts and you can barely talk.
I'm thinking on the opposite end. You're thinking like low. I'm thinking like if you're on like ketamine and acid and you're like the walls. You don't understand that there's literal hieroglyphs in there, and they're telling me y'all's futures, and they're saying that the astral projection of yourself in the future is actually you from the past, but you've got to understand the mistakes that you made in the past to astral project into the future. That you're not understanding that there's actually another layer of hieroglyphs behind this that actually tells you the secret to the universe, and like that may not get good results. It may not get good results.
Nobody's gonna understand that.
It's a different threshold. It's just way above. It's just like you don't went too far, bro. Like nobody's on the same page right now.
Nobody's on that wavelength.
Nobody is. Like you're not gonna be able to convince me that there's hieroglyphs in the wall because I'm just not seeing them. Like it's. But yeah. Before we go, I do want to show y'all kind of like the base model of my prototype right now.
Pad?
Yeah, this is really bare bones. This is extremely bare bones right here, but basically, let me show you.
The mic's over here. Speak this way.
I don't know if y'all can see it like really good or not, but so this is my circuit board and my Arduino. The Arduino is a programmable, I guess it's like a computer chip. That's the best way I can explain it. Okay.
Yeah, just keep.
And this black box right here is a pressure sensor. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have this plexiglass sitting under a raised platform. And I'm gonna have 4 of these attached to a longer wire, and I'm gonna run it through. I'm going to run these pressure sensors through the holes, and I'm going to have it located in 4 regions or 4 quadrants. and then I'm going to connect it to a pole. There's going to be wires that go to a pole, and it goes up to an alarm clock. And that's basically the idea. That's really it.
Hi. All right, are we done?
I think we're done. I think we should wrap it up right now.
All right. Well, comment suggestions if you have any about the podcast, whether the setup or future ideas. We didn't really have one. We kind of went on just a ramble today.
Yeah, we went crazy.
Talked about what we were thinking. Not really any kind of specific topic. I think we'll come back with a real topic next time, but...
Yeah, we're going to see how this does. I know one of the feedback I got was that we were actually too rigid in structure last time, so maybe this time we're a little too unrigid.
Too free-flowing.
Formless, as they would say.
We didn't even have, like, a real topic. We just kind of just... Last time we had, like, a topic and subtopics to individually cover, but this time we really didn't have jack shit. So I guess maybe we'll meet in the middle. Maybe we'll get a real topic, and then once we get on that topic, we'll just go.
Our podcast got a plan.
Stop flowing. No, I'm turning the mic off.
I can't stop flowing because it's who I am. I'm creating rhymes like Sam I am. And I'm not going to eat no green eggs and ham.
All right, and on that note, we're out.
Hold on. After I finish my flow, you sit there and say,